bookworms, I'm Becca and today I am doing the Gilmore Girls book tag. This tag was originally created by Alyssa from Pucks and Paperbacks, and then when I was looking up the questions, I found that another blog did a Gilmore Girls book tag with different questions, so I kind of combined the two, and I added one of my own because I felt like it, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. So some of these questions are from Pucks and Paperback, some of the questions are from the other blog that I'll leave linked below, and then the very last question is the one that I created, and I just said all that twice, so let's just get started. The first question is Lorelai, and for this you're going to choose a character that is witty or sarcastic. So I chose Julia from Your Welcome Universe because she was just like, didn't care about anything and said what was on her mind, and I really loved reading from her perspective. Next is Rory, and for this you're going to choose your favorite classic because she's always reading classics, and I decided to go with Nancy Drew. I don't know if other people really consider them classics, but I read my mom's Nancy Drew books when I was little, and they were super beat up because they were original. So I've always kind of considered Nancy Drew to be a classic series for me, and I still enjoy those stories a lot. Next is Luke's Diner, and for this you're going to choose a comfort read, and I could have just went with Harry Potter, but I could have picked Harry Potter for a lot of these, so instead I decided to choose Looking for Alaska by John Green. Next is Kirk. And Kirk is one of my favorite characters in Gilmore Girls. He's so weird and bizarre. So for this, you're going to choose the weirdest book that you've ever read. And I decided to go with Coraline by Neil Gaiman. I just read this for Booktubeathon, and literally when I finished it, even as I was reading it, I was like, what the heck am I reading right now? It was the weirdest book that I've ever read. And now I'm kind of terrified to see the movie because if the movie is anything like the book, it is weird. Next is Jess, and for this you're going to choose a book that you love that gets a lot of hate. And I have to say that Jess is my favorite boyfriend that Rory had, so I think that this is a great pick for this character, and I decided to choose Paper Towns by John Green because that is one of my favorite books, and everyone is always hating on John Green books and that one specifically, so I knew right away that I'd have to choose that one. Next is Paris Geller, and for this you're going to choose an uptight character. So of course I chose Lara Jean from To All the Boys I've Loved Before. She's not necessarily uptight, but she kind of gives that vibe. She's kind of a goody-good, which is fine. I really like reading those books, and I like her as a character. She's definitely more uptight than some of the characters that you read in YA. So yeah, I had to go with Lara Jean. The next one is I Just Got Hit by a Deer. So for this, you're going to choose a character that had the worst day ever. And I decided to choose Katniss Everdeen during the Hunger Games because even though she was like rocking it, if it was me, that is like the worst day ever for me. I could not imagine ever doing that. So every time I think about that, I'm like, no thank you. Next is Lorelai and Rory. Choose your favorite family dynamic, and for this I chose The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I love the family dynamic in this. The family is just so relatable and so believable. Angie Thomas's writing is impeccable, and if you haven't read The Hate You Give yet, it's probably one of the best books that I've ever read, and I just read it like a couple months ago, and I think that I'm already gonna reread it because I need to. Next is Coffee, and for this you're going to choose a book or series that you're addicted to. Even though I'm not a coffee drinker, for some reason I can still relate to Rory and Lorelai, and their addiction to coffee. So for this, I chose two series. First is the Merciless trilogy by Danielle Vega, and the second one is the To All the Boys I've Loved Before trilogy by Jenny Han. Two vastly different series, but I love both of them for completely different reasons, and I'm definitely obsessed with both of them. Next is Stars Hollow, and for this you're going to choose a book with an eccentric cast of characters, and I decided to go with The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I don't even know if I need to say much more than that. These boys are crazy, and Blue's family is interesting, so it was definitely an interesting group of people to read about, to say the least. Next is I Pushed Him in the Lake, and for this you're going to choose a book that you would throw in the lake, and of course if you guys know me, then you know that I'm going to choose The Magicians by Lev Grossman. That book was not for me, and you can talk all you want and try to convince me all you want, but I have my reasons for not liking The Magicians, and I probably just interpreted it way wrong, but that's the way I took it, and I did not enjoy that book one bit. Next is 1,000 Yellow Daisies, and for this you're going to choose your favorite romance, and of course I have to go with A Quiet Kind of Thunder by Sarah Bernard. That is probably like my favorite book from this year so far, and I don't know if anything's ever going to be able to top it. It's just so good, and yeah, I love it. I really love that book. Next is I Smell Snow, and for this you're going to choose a winter book or a book that reminds you of winter, and I just had to go with Harry Potter. Everything about it just screams like fall and wintry to me, and I don't know why. Probably because in the movies there's just all those cute scenes of them at Hogsmeade with the snow drifting around, and it's just so beautiful, and it will always remind me of winter and cozy times. And the last one is the one that I added, and there's a story to it basically. So apparently everyone was freaking out with the Gilmore Girls revival on Netflix, and how the last 4 words of that were originally intended to end the series, but because the original producer left in like season 6 or something, the original series didn't get the ending that it needed, so everyone was like awaiting this last 4 words of the series, and I'm not gonna give it away, but it definitely ruined me. So for this, you're going to choose a book ending that completely ruined you, and I had to go with All the Bright Places by, oh gosh, Jennifer Niven. That's who the author is. I don't know why I couldn't remember that, but I distinctly remember staying up like all night, and I was sobbing during the last parts of that book. It was just so good. So that's what I had to choose for that one. And there you guys go. That is my rendition of the Gilmore Girls book tag. If you love Gilmore Girls as much as I do, which is a lot, then you need to do this tag. And you can do the questions that I used. You can just use the ones from Pucks and Paperback or just the ones from the blog. I'll leave all of that linked below. But yeah, that's that. That's that, I guess. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.